Do it, motherfucker. Do it.
One thing that he and his fans love to say is, what? So I should just be like forever ostracized, like unpersoned for doing this? No.
He says that Vaush shouldn't be forever ostracized. Yet he is going over all of this 5 years after the fact. What's up? I'm Cleary. So today I wanted to cover a video by BadEmpanada. So about 11 months ago, it's a bit of an old video. I still find it very interesting for a couple of reasons. But about 11 months ago, BadEmpanada covered the Vaush Poppy drama. Now, for those of you who don't know, Vaush used to be a really big part of Destiny's community. Like 5 years ago, he used to talk in Destiny's Discord quite a bit. One of the people he talked to a lot was Poppy. Poppy was just some girl that was part of the community. Anyways, those messages are like, what were you thinking? Like, it was that bad. Like a what the fuck were you thinking type of mess. I read through about 1/10 of them. And I stopped after he randomly brought up his dog. Okay, here, before I go any farther, I want to say, I actually thought about making a video on it myself. The thing is, I felt really weird about doing it because it's been so long. It's been 5 years. And as far as I know, he hasn't done anything like that again. Like, he has not repeated the behavior. I feel like, as long as it was addressed, I know he didn't apologize.
What I will be addressing is the conversation that I had with Poppy a year and a half ago. Since then, I have had more time to look at those logs. I have grown somewhat as a person over the past year and a half, and I feel differently. When I was on Destiny's stream, I said that I had behaved cringily. I believe that I said, again, imperfect memory, that I had been at times a little creepy, that I had pushed boundaries, that I had been overly facilitated towards sexual conversation. Do those things make me a sexual harasser? And I've thought about it over the past few days. And the answer is that it doesn't really matter what I think.
It was concluded. It was more or less done and over with. So it feels weird to rehash it, bring it back up, like resurrect it, bring it back from the grave. And I kind of wanted to pick apart BadEmpanada's video and, yeah, just push it against it a little bit. Anyway, let's get into the video.
Something very interesting is that Vaush, the streamer, is a serial sexual harasser. Yet for some...
Okay. I wanted to stop it right there. Literally right out of the gate. Vaush is a serial sexual harasser. Are you sure about that? So there's Poppy, and I forgot to mention there was one other person that he was a little creepy towards. Not as creepy as he was towards Poppy, from my understanding and from the messages I've seen. But after all of that, the past 5 years, I haven't heard anything about it. I feel like it would blow up. Like if somebody came out and they dropped some DMs with Vaush being super fucking creepy, that shit would be everywhere, at least in this sphere of YouTube, right? The political sphere. Everybody would be talking about it. So calling him a serial sexual harasser, that's a little much, in my opinion. That's a little much.
Right off the bat, let's get right down to it. This started in 2017. There was this woman called Poppy who Vaush met in a Discord server. I think maybe it was Destiny's Discord server, I'm not sure. And they became like online friends. And he spent about a year just pushing her, trying to get her to cave in and to speak to him on a sexual level and stuff rather than just being friends. And this first screenshot, it reads,
oh, by the way, everything he just said is absolutely true. 100%.
Vaush says, you're not a bad, or I assume she was having a bit of a sad moment or something. And he says, you're not a bad or even an incomplete person. Life is a constant struggle to adapt and improve yourself. You have a lot of things going for. And then she says, I wish I was better to people. He says, I enjoy your company. I don't think you're bad to people. I don't mean to sound overbearing. She says, hope we can continue to be friends. And please tell me if I'm not being so good. And now Vaush says, so I am a buddy. And he has a realization there, I guess, where he's like, oh man, I'm in. 2 lines later, he says, also, let me know if you ever want to check out my dog. Perfectly fucking...
I'm sorry, it's not funny from you shouldn't have said that. It's just the out of... Okay, so once again, I read through 1/10 of the messages. This is literally, funny enough, this is literally where I stopped. Because it was 20 messages of them talking about her problems with people. And then at the end of all of it, he drops also, let me know if you want to check out my dog. Just out of nowhere, out of the fucking blue. After she has said multiple times that, I have a boyfriend. No, I'm not interested. Please, God, don't show me your dog. And he drops it after this serious conversation. I started laughing my ass off, and I could not go farther. It's just awful. No, there's a lot of this peppered in through his messages with like Poppy. There's a lot of the, hey, you want to check on my pee-pee? It's bad shit.
His age, without, pressuring them or anything. He faced more consequences than fucker, constantly. What is it called when someone makes it clear like 1,000 times they don't want anything sexual with you? You keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. They block you, cut off contact with you, and then you start talking about how much you nonetheless want to fuck them. Pretty clearly something that we should be considering a rape threat, especially given that he said here that, and we'll get to it, that he wanted to physically hurt her during this fucking disgusting sexual fantasies that he was having about her here.
Yeah, once again, bad. He's 100% right. I just wanted to show this part of the video to like add some context.
I could keep pushing her until she caves in. Ironically, he made a video talking about how bad it is to do exactly that recently. Unfucking believable, the audacity.
So with that part, isn't it good that he's coming out and like recognizing that behavior is bad? Isn't that what we want to see from people? I think that's exactly what he should be doing. He should be running around saying like, no, that thing I did in the past, that's bad. You shouldn't do that, guys. I think that's exactly what he should be doing. I guess you could call it hypocritical, but it could also just be a sign that he's grown. He's learned from his mistakes. I'm trying to be charitable to him because this was a long time ago. Personally, like 5 years ago, I look back on myself. I was a dipshit. I was clueless. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. All right, like I was lost. A lot of change happens over 5 years. A lot of change happens. And once again, I haven't even like smelled a whiff, like a single of him doing anything like this after the Poppy stuff. So if he's coming out talking about how sexual harassment is bad, like I think that's a good thing. I think he should be doing that.
Dozens of times he pushed and pushed and pushed. She blocked him, and his reaction is essentially to threaten to rape her constantly. And then, this was all before he became a popular streamer, by the way. About a year later, he became like a fairly popular streamer. And Poppy saw that, and she came forward about what he had done to her. And Vaush and his community, his friends, his fans, their reaction to that was to do everything possible to try and harass her even more into silence. So this is Vaush's then. And
so I'm going to cover that part really quick. Apparently, the reason why he changed his name to Irish Laddie, from Irish Laddie to Vaush, is to try to disconnect himself from all of those really, really bad messages. And also, yeah, it seems like they were trying to essentially like cover up what he did. Really, really nasty crap. That's pretty bad. It's bad stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
Completely absolve yourself of sin. We can all fucking see what you did. Jesus. It seems I'm given no choice but to fess up and apologize for behavior I never engaged in. Very important context here, because he eventually did release a like faux bullshit apology, self-serving apology, once it all became too bad for his brand. And this is important context to that because it tells you why he made the apology. Because it got too bad for him, and he decided that in order to salvage his brand, he would have to cave in and make a faux bullshit apology. We're going to go into that too, don't worry.
No, everything about his reaction to the situation did scream, I am just trying to save my own ass. I'm not trying to take accountability or anything like that. I'm just trying to cover shit up, make it disappear, do whatever I have to, fucking lie, bullshit. I have to fess up to something that I obviously didn't do. It's like, what do you mean you obviously didn't do it? We have the messages. Destiny had the messages and walked him through why.
Given the context and given that prior she'd spent months harassing.
Hold on. Whoa. Okay, I don't know if you normally talk to people with a lot of social problems, but you're lying to me. Okay,
I'm not lying
you very, very, very clearly in this conversation are looking with some sort of sexual reciprocation. This is not something that you're saying.
Let me find the image.
Trying to deny it was absolutely ridiculous. Actually, and that's one of my big points with Vaush. The reason why he's so popular, one of the only reasons why he is as popular as he is because he is really good at talking. He is a really good talker.
Just made to salvage his brand when he saw the negative attention closing in. And another thing is, one thing that he and his fans love to say is, what? So I should just be like forever ostracized, like unpersoned for doing this? No, but to act like you're entitled to a platform that gives you power over a bunch of unthinking groupies where you can do all of this again very easily. When you have harassed someone in an online environment like this, you've shown yourself way beyond being unsuitable to have anything resembling a platform like the one that you have that is highly reliant on parasocial interactions.
Okay, I have a few issues with that. These are probably my major issues with this video, the biggest ones. He says that Vaush shouldn't be forever ostracized. Yet he's going over all of this 5 years after the fact. After everything was summed up, everything was concluded, the people involved seemed to be at least okay with moving on from it. BadEmpanada decided to cover it. Yet he feels like there is a way for Vaush to redeem himself. I don't know how those two ideas fit in his head. I honestly don't. It makes me feel like he's just kind of bullshitting. He just wanted to like bring all this up for attention, essentially. That's how it feels. But yeah, like what Vaush did was really, really bad. It's like, yeah, sexual harassment, even online, is really fucking bad, really creepy, and it makes girls feel like they're in danger. At least that's how I would feel in that situation. The fact that it was online, I think, does lighten the load a little bit. It's definitely a little bit less bad compared to like doing it in real life. Let's say, you know, like one of your coworkers is sexually harassing you. Like every time you go into work, he's like fucking like, you know, saying all the sexual shit about you, fucking like staring at your ass, like obviously blatantly, stuff like that. So I'm saying like online stuff because there's some distance there. There's some removal. It's definitely not as bad. It's still really bad though. Still very, very bad. Want to make that clear. But I do feel like it wasn't so bad to the point where Vaush should never be able to be a content creator again. Especially since, once again, yes, he does have power over a large amount of people. That is so true. But as far as anybody knows, he hasn't abused it.
Nothing big. That or like, Vaush is just a poor autistic man who didn't get social cues. I guess he didn't get social cues like the 12 times she told him she didn't want anything to do with him sexually. Was he not getting social cues when he threatened to rape her in chat 4 months after that? Like,
okay, yeah, 100%. I just have trouble picking up social cues stuff is bullshit. She mentioned the fact that she has a boyfriend, and that, by the way, if to any guys listening, and I've looked at my like audience like male-female ratio, it's mostly guys. All right, don't just. If a girl says she has a boyfriend, she's telling you, "Hey, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to do anything sexual with you." That is almost always what she's saying. So just stop after that. Vaush should have stopped right after that. But she was more explicit with like not wanting the shit too. She was like, "No, I'm not really interested in you. I don't want to see your dong." You know, like, but you know, no. Vaush was just having trouble like reading the social cues. He was looking at a fucking like a piece of paper that said, "Stop fucking with me." And he's like, I wonder what that means. It's a bullshit excuse, for sure. Once again, that's kind of what Vaush sells, isn't it? Like, really bullshitty, you know, excuses for stuff that just kind of sounds good.
in those messages, he was trying to push her to have sex with him. If she had shown any interest in that at all, he fucking certainly would have wanted to meet her in real life. And who knows what he would have done to her after that. It would have been even worse.
Okay, once again, I feel like this is another point where BadEmpanada is like hardcore jumping the gun. He's assuming that he would have sexually assaulted her if they had gotten together in real life. Like that. Okay, and just to be clear, the distance between sexual harassment and sexual assault is like it's like the distance between the earth and the sun. Okay, someone talking about abusing you versus someone actually abusing you. Yeah. What I'm saying is the sexual assault like thing that he's trying to fling here is like really bad. That is like a huge and awful like conclusion to jump to, and he doesn't really have a basis. There's no foundation for it outside of the fact that Vaush has sexually harassed people. This part I disagree hardcore. We don't know if he's that kind of guy. I guess he definitely talks like it. I'll give you that. He talks like he's that kind of guy. But to say that he is that kind of guy without him doing it is just awful. It's awful. It's like you were shooting for the moon and you ended up in the Oort cloud. Like you went way too far, way too fucking far.
Relapse. We've shown that that's true. Knowing that, that's extra context. So she told him that her ex-boyfriend had raped her, like anally. That's why Vaush was saying that specifically, because she had confided in him that had happened to her. Holy shit.
I don't even know if I have to say anything about that. I wanted to show that to just, once again, kind of hammer home the point that Vaush really isn't a good person. Yikes. That's like the most extreme version of using something someone confided in you against them. That's all I'm going to say about it. All right, that's pretty much all the points I wanted to cover when it comes to BadEmpanada's Vaush takedown video. Overall, it's been years, and there's no reason to think that Vaush has continued with this behavior. So I think it was just a pointless video to make. It's a bad look for BadEmpanada, in my opinion. Well, anyways, this has been I did defend Vaush, but he still sucks ass with Cleary, and I love you guys. Bye-bye.